not sure, I don't see a specific reason why we should limit it to 45 days. But I know, we're bringing it for discussion because we said we would, our prior board said that they would, so that's where we are. So we will revisit it, but we're looking for some input as to the direction of the way the policy should read. I think as long as we have it, it could be subpoenaed, and that's, but I don't know that we have any history to, and to me, I mean, I don't think there should be any reason for holding our standards that we should worry that we're.
Now the audio recordings, are those, how far do those go back?
Back to the 80s.
And have they ever been?
No, and nobody ever asked for a copy. And also, in addition to that, some of them, Jeff and I already discussed, I'm not sure that we can play them. They're not playable at this point because of the technology that was used back in the 80s.
So as long
We
as
don't have VHS and cassette tapes.
So I would just suggest to the policy committee, I mean, I know, I wouldn't be opposed to keeping them indefinitely. I know that there's some people that aren't in favor of that. I would ask the policy committee at least look at 4 years. It's a good compromise. We cover an election cycle. So if a member is on the board and is up for re-election, and the community wants to go back and watch some of the meetings that they had attended or look at issues that may have come up to see how they might vote on certain things or what their positions and certain things in their district, I think it would be helpful to the voters to at least be able to go back during that time frame that that person may have been on the board. And then presumably if they're not re-elected, then the community has decided that's not a person they want on the board anymore, or they decided not to run for whatever reason. And at that point it may not be necessary to have those recordings anyway. But then if they are re-elected, then presumably the community has decided that whatever positions they held were acceptable. It may not be a huge deal. I don't know if, I suppose it's possible that there would be issues that would come up that people would care about 4 years later. I find it hard to believe that, but like the contract issue that we saw 2 weeks ago, there were questions from old board members who couldn't remember when we voted on contracts or what contracts were up. Had we had those videos from 2 or 3 years ago, we could have gone back and watched the meetings and said, oh yeah, this is what happened, or oh, we screwed up, we missed this, now let's, how do we go back and fix it? 45 days just is, either then just live stream it and don't record it, because I just don't see how 45 days is helpful to anyone. And I know there's been talk about cost of maintaining these recordings, but in my experience, the way technology is moving, it's not really a huge cost. It's not something I would be concerned with.
One of my recollections from the previous discussion, and I hope I'm not dragging Mr. David Day back into this, but there was some concern about so long as those videos are out there, they might be considered an official record. Do I remember that correctly? I don't know. We're just talking about the videos and...
Well, yeah, as long as they're in your possession, they are public records. And then the other question, I don't know if you got into this possibly, there's statutes regarding destroying public records. And you have to have certain timetables and schedules and permissions from other people before you can destroy public records.
That would be the reason to have the policy stay in a certain time frame.
And so you want to get that approved by it's actually county records commission.
But yet, what would be the harm of, well, I think it speaks to transparency when we say we don't want the video, audio representation of the meeting because it's not official, when that's reality. I mean, look at the play of the playoff game last weekend. You can go back and say they missed that call. Officially, it was a no call, but look at it and this is how it happened. So I don't see what the harm is, and well, and it is reality today. I mean, we're not somehow not, our words aren't getting jumbled. I mean, if they were, we would have put the recording up, I would hope, but I mean, this is what we said. Why can't it be an official record for a certain amount of time, certainly more than 45 days? You know, the minutes are the official record. This is just as a courtesy. I don't know that it needs to be called an official record, but it's a courtesy to expand on the minutes that tell very little, no conversations. But the public would like to know, how did you come about that redistricting decision. 4 years from now, when people say, you know, they really didn't listen to anybody and the redistricting, they already had their minds made up. Well, if we have videotapes, people can go back and see how transformative our discussion, you know, went from point A to point B, how we got to that point, and there was input allowed. It's easy for people to say, oh, yeah, they don't do this or they did this, but if we have the video evidence of it, we're just being as transparent as we can.
Has the committee talked about whether we're putting in, and maybe Mr. Day, you can clarify if it's necessary to put in language that we're only streaming and recording and saving board meetings and not other public meetings? Because what Michelle's talking about, I think, is important, but a lot of those discussions also happen at work sessions,
Right, yeah.
which aren't necessarily live streamed. So I'm not saying we should be live streaming or recording those, but maybe the policy committee needs to check Mr. Day and make sure we don't have to have language in there to clarify which meetings we're recording and which meetings we're not.
It's my understanding that it's regular board meetings.
Just regular board meetings also.
But I think that includes,
Okay.
I think that includes work sessions, right?
Right, that's just,
But only as long as they're in this room.
Yeah.
Okay, so not work sessions.
just the session, just the board meetings, not
And only
any
if they're in this
session.
room.
Right, yeah,
In this room.
we
Right.
could
So if we
decide
make-
to do a work session, could we not, record a work session?
But I think if we start doing that, then we'd have to do all of that.
Well, I
No, it's
guess,
up to you.
And then we'd always have to be here.
why do
That's
we need
not
a
it.
policy on this? If Richmond records them, they don't have a policy. I don't know that, I didn't look to see if Carmel
Well,
or
it's
Noblesville
the, it's
had
the
it,
records
but-
destruction piece. I would suggest that those other organizations may not have done the kind of diligence that we're doing.
But yet their public is much more informed of what's going on in the meetings.
Go back to the drawing board, the policy committee, that we're saying? Or do we need to go back to the drawing board? Michelle, you?
I would, I do not want the 45-day, I know I'm one of 7, but, I don't see any.
7 what?
One of seven people on the
Oh,
board.
I thought you were saying a period of time
No,
of 7.
no.
I'm like, 7 what?
No, I'm one of 7, in my opinion,
Because
isn't enough
Denise
to
will
get it out
kill
of
us
there,
on
but,
that policy.
I see no reason to limit it. I mean, you don't want to have to infinity, but, I mean, couldn't we put in wording to the best of our ability, and that way, if somehow you no longer need videotapes and it's some different format, who knows what it'll be in the future, we can say that, you know, we made, starting on this date, going forward, it will be in this format, and then you know, let the public know these are gonna be destroyed. If you would like to save them, you're welcome to, but, you know, our minutes are our official, documentation of meetings, but I believe this is just a courtesy that we owe our community to be as transparent as the Fisher City Council, Carmel schools, Noblesville schools, and other school districts around, and governmental entities.
How was the 45 days? How was the 45 days? All right, then.
Yeah, originally that was
It's 30.
going to be a 30-day time period. And we decided when we looked at the duration time between meetings, 45 would enable us to go from at least meeting to meeting before they were eliminated. And we were advised, as the policy became drafted, that we want to steer the public to the official minutes, not to a recording of the meeting. That's what directed our action.
But yet, why not, I mean, the minutes are such a skeleton of what happens. It is official, but as a former educator, I guess once an educator, always an educator, I would want people to be as informed as possible, and the minutes are not that informative. You just give, you know, who voted yea and nay, and no discussion, and I think it's this discussion that's the meat of who we are and what the decisions we make and why we make them. So I would argue that I would steer people toward the video more than the minutes.
Well, and just for, not just for voting purposes, but I can imagine all of the students we have that come in here and we celebrate them, and teachers, that maybe their parents want to go back a few months later and show, oh, look, my kid got, recognized at the board meeting. There's so many purposes for this, not just a record. And as a busy working parent who's also on a school board, I can imagine missing the 45-day window and not being able to go back and save that video or, whatever may have happened. It's not just about our discussions on voting matters. We need to do more, I think, here in the board than just business. And as a courtesy, if we're going to stream room board, I would encourage the policy committee to consider that and maybe bring it back up as an action item to revisit the length of time.
That's a great point, because we can have a child, like our grant winners last week, and they were talking about books. Well, 10 years from now, they might be up here from something else and do a little snippet. Remember when you were here last time? Kind of thing. And I think that's an excellent point that it's nice to do. Now, and again, nothing is to prevent the public from capturing these videos within the 45 days, downloading from their own computer, and keeping them forever. There is nothing to prevent that, correct? Nothing to prevent them from holding a camera up to their computer and taking a video and posting that. So the idea that after 45 days, this record will magically disappear is pretty much not true. It'll magically disappear, or could magically disappear from our website, but it'll be out there in perpetuity. It could be.
Simply would be one of our
We have community members here recording us anyway, so. Right, thank you.
I think the key
But-
difference is it wouldn't be a public record,
Yeah.
Right,
an
but I
official
don't,
public record.
but I don't, if the board is committed to transparency and communication and improving communication with the community, limiting those recordings is not, 45 days or 4 years, we're still gonna have the same issues about destroying them and making sure that's approved. There's really no purpose to limit it to such a short period of time if the board is really committed to transparency. I just don't see the benefit, because we're still gonna have the exact same issues that we will if it's 45 days for 4 years, for 10 years. It doesn't change, it's literally just the length of time. The only issue I can see is cost, which, you can buy 3 terabyte storage disk for $100, so I don't believe the cost is something you should really be concerned with. But I can't find any purpose for limiting it to such a short period of time that would benefit anybody.
And without that, I think we could probably bring it back unless there's something compelling otherwise. The policy committee would just reconvene and present something.
So let me get this clear. Anytime between, 4 years and nothing at all. No definitive timeframe. That's what we're looking
Well, we could say a minimum of 4 years.
at. Minimum. I think that's enough verbiage.
Right, and if we choose to come up there longer.
From my perspective, I don't know that there's anything magical about 45 days or 4 years. I think that it's policy, and unless we can revisit policy and update policy on a rolling basis. And I went to an evening seminar a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was just last week. But, they suggested reviewing and updating all policy every 3 years on a rotating basis. We ought to revisit that every 3 years. So I don't know whether 45 days is right, 4 years is right. I would suggest that it has been brought back up, that we decide on it tonight, or we bring it back up in a month and make a final decision if we want to update the policy in 3 years because we don't like the 90 days we picked or 4 years we picked, we update it. I don't.
Well, it's already on the books.
Yeah.
Because we did that on a reorganization meeting, so they had it as a part of all the policies we approved of.
Okay.
Well, and I would just remind the board that the meeting before I was sworn in, when it was actually voted on 45 days, it was mentioned that it was going to be voted on so that the new members could have policy reorganization meeting as policies, that's what happens. But I would request a notice of information meeting that policy committee, if, I'm not sure if you have a meeting scheduled before.
Our next meeting is the second.
Okay, so that's right before. So, I would ask if you consider that, and then maybe we can bring it back as an action item at the next meeting, to make a decision. And then we can, vote, and we can move forward.
Policy committee so advised?
So today is not the day to say, I'd like to amend it to just take out the 45 days.
It's just an information tonight.
I think we're just trying to gain understanding on what was suggested.
And since it's
Some dialogue
informational,
about it.
sorry, Chairman.
No, you're fine.
Since it's informational, that way, the community can know that, this may come up at the next meeting, so if community members have some input or concerns or questions about the policy, feel free to reach out to the board members and let us know what your thoughts are, so that we can use that information to make the best decision on what would be helpful to the community.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Moving on to action items.